Company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview.
Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, is joining us this morning following news on a placing where, Paul, you've raised just over £1 million with warrants at 3.5 pence. So this placing was rather quick, was it? Is that correct?
Yeah, we did it over the weekend. It actually took one day from start to finish to complete.
Okay, yeah. So that's pretty quick. Now I know in the past we've spoken about your sort of frustration sometimes with the share price, and we have spoken about market conditions. So you obviously have raised when perhaps market conditions weren't as ideal as you'd like them to be. I noticed in the RNS you say you've got 3 million now, circa, in cash and investments. So what prompted the raise now?
Yeah, it's absolutely true that we've had a pullback in the space and in Power Metal shares over the last year. And we pulled back from 3.5 pence approximately down to, I think at one point we were 1.65. And that we closed on Friday, we were 1.75. It is not, in anyone's estimation, the ideal time to go and raise money from the point of view of the market. And if you look at the dynamics in the space, it does look like we're facing a recovery in the natural resource sector. But my job as CEO is to take those slightly unpopular decisions at some time, from time to time, when I can see the forward pathway of the business. I can see what we're potentially going to do. I can see the options available to us. Now, if I'd have raised this money at 2.5 pence, we'd have had a circa 3% dilution for £1,050,000. As it transpires, it's about a 4.5% dilution to our current issued share capital in respect of the shares issued in the placing. But the advantage of a slightly chunkier market cap is that you can raise these types of amounts without too much dilution. But absolutely, our plans with the business, what we want to achieve, this £1 million raise enables us to do that. And I can see the significance of that. And I understand that the wider marketplace can't at the moment, but with what we have on our agenda at the moment, this was the right thing to do.
Okay. Now, a line from the RNS that I noticed was the funds raised will enable acceleration of business operations, including strategic exploration activities and corporate opportunities. Now, we do see that line. It's a similar line. They're always worded a little bit differently depending on the company and the RNS. But what specifically, can I ask you, are these funds going to be put to use for?
Oh, well, that's a good question. You know the significance of all this when, as an individual, as a CEO, I've always participated in the company's financings in the past. So Feb 19, December 19, and July 20. Can you believe it's July 20 is the last time we did a financing, of this type in the market? But I wasn't able to do it this time. So obviously my knowledge of the business activities, where we're going, what we're doing, and the relative advanced stage of some of those, shall we say, events mean that I'm blocked out and the whole board are blocked out. And it is frustrating and it's annoying. And I do like to stand my ground alongside other investors and shareholders, particularly shareholders, with buying on the market whenever I can. And hopefully I'll be in a position where I can do that in the not too distant future. But for now, the money's raised, the job is done, and we are powered up with that £3 million. Where is it going to go? Okay, well, it's difficult for me to actually be specific on that. But can I make a slightly general point? I'm going to sound like a politician. If you look at our business, we have 3 angles where we could develop. One, we can sell things. As we sold the Hemler Schreiber package to First Class Metals for £1 million of their shares in advance of their planned IPO in London. And we hope that on IPO turns into many millions of pounds. But we can dispose of assets within our business if we choose to. The best time to dispose is when the people you dispose to are aware that you're financially strong, they can't lowball on offers and proposals, and we can get the best possible terms. So having financial strength helps you to get best pricing on disposals. Secondly, on acquisitions, for a whole variety of reasons, people willing to sell things to you or engage with you in joint ventures or other such deals, look at your financial strength. And if you are strong, then you get the better deals, you get the better opportunities. And it's not necessarily that we were weak. We weren't weak. But the best way to demonstrate strength is to go and raise £1 million at a weekend. You know what we say? Hey, we can go and get £1 million. We can do it on the weekend. You won't even see it coming. We are in a strong position as a business, and we can raise capital if we choose to. Now, we haven't chosen to since July 20. So this has been, 16 months now since the last financing, but it shows we can do it, and we will do it if we think it's the right thing to do. And then the third element is within our existing portfolio, 13 projects over 3 continents covering 10 commodities, and they're project packages. So some of them have multiple projects within them. We've got opportunity to change the way we do things, to adopt new structures, to move our business forward in a slightly different way than we planned. And sometimes in order to do that, you need additional working capital to make it happen. So it's those 3 areas that this financing is there to address. And it brings us opportunity on a level that we simply wouldn't have unless we went and raised the money. So I am delighted. On Friday, I left this office here and went off with all sorts of opportunity in my head and all sorts of plans and ideas that could be done if. And then Monday, we make an announcement to say we've just raised the finance so that we can do those things and we can push that business forward. So it's a politician's answer. I apologize, Mark. But it will be clear, we will communicate, we will make those announcements, and we are particularly excited at this moment.
Okay. And of course, you mentioned there that you are as frustrated that we weren't able to participate, and you've mentioned in the RNS a number of new initiatives. So is it really a case of investors just watch this space for some announcements fairly soon?
Yeah, I hate the phrase watch this space as well. That's thrown around the place. Business development, watch this space for additional working capital. How many times do we see these things? I tire of them as an investor, right? We're working consistently in our business. You can see what we're doing. Okay, the market hasn't been kind to us over the last 10 months, despite literally throwing the kitchen sink at this with so many developments in the business. But that does not matter because, this sector's lifting. You can feel it, in my opinion. We've got one of the best propositions out there. I think we got the best, to be honest, but I'm biased. And I think we've got a phenomenal forward dynamic. And now we've really got the means to make it happen. So yeah, watch the space, but we're serious, we're building, and we're going for it. So now we really, really can.
Okay. Well, Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.